Opinions and stories around the game we love, told by your favorite storytellers. Stay up to date with all things cricket. Subscribe to Cricbuzz's YouTube channel and press that bell icon now.
This is a match we're talking about. It's not a qualifier anymore. It's the E word. It's the Eliminator from the Eden Gardens in Kolkata. It's Rahul's Lucknow taking on Plessis Bangalore. Let me come to Shaun Pollock first on this. My own personal little pet peeve, or a pet theory if you like it. If you've made your entry via the back door, watch out. Do you subscribe to that theory that fast guys are going to be extra dangerous, extra pumped up because they got into the final sitting in the confines of their hotel team room?
Yeah, it's a nice second chance for them in many ways. They did what they had to do. Credit goes to them for winning that last game, getting themselves to the 16 points, and then have to hold on and see what would transpire. But I tell you what it is. It's a feeling of just the shackles come off, because there's such a big drive for you to make sure you win. Can you qualify? Can't you qualify? What will happen? Da, da, da. Eventually you get in there, and you've been under a lot of pressure over the last 2 or 3 games. LSG hasn't. They know they were qualified for quite some time. So in many ways, the RCB's been dealing with the pressure situation. Whether that helps them, it probably does a little bit. They can probably go and say, well, listen, we've eventually qualified. We got to the top 4. That was our aim, to get in there. And now let's just go and enjoy it and try and play as sort of clamped free cricket as we possibly can. Virat Kohli's found himself an innings to feel like he's getting a bit of form. And they've got match winners there. You do think from the opposition side, you just look at it and think, oh, if one of those guys has a day, we're basically done, because, du Plessis can play. Kohli's shown some form. Maxwell, if he gets firing, he wins the game single-handedly. And then Hasaranga has had some good games as well. So there's more than enough. In Dinesh Karthik, we haven't even mentioned. How brilliant was he at the start of the tournament? So there are match winners there. I don't think at any stage Bangalore has put an 11-man performance together where everyone in the squad has performed on a particular day, and they'll just be hoping that it's around the corner.
Yeah, if you talk about playing shackle-free cricket and you look at those individuals, that's a dangerous combination, Ajay. But also a little different in terms of the look of the team from the start of the tournament. You had an Anuj Rawat at the top expressing himself, Kohli down the order. Now they seem to have found the right combination of where Virat Kohli should bat, the fact that he recognizes himself that he can bat and score some runs. So coming at the right time, a lot of these for Bangalore, Ajay.
Yep, coming at the right time, a lot of match winners, and now it's about and the table shows you that through the tournament, both these teams, when you look, you think that is a better side, LSG, and that's why they've done well. But at this stage, it's about today's game, and the players that you have. I know, at the end, this table looks very close, 9 and 8, but throughout the, IPL, if somebody's followed, then it wasn't just that, LSG was all the way up. So I'm looking at it from that point of view. But, what Shaun said, I'm totally with him, because there are more match winners. The other side is a team match winner, and this side has individuals. On their given day, they can take the game away. The opposition also has some, but not as good as players or as many as the Bangalore team has. So that's a team that would fear. And adding to your pet theory, I would go with that as well, because they are capable of doing that. Having said that, I think the batting is that way. The bowling is probably been going down from the start of the season. So if they're batting first, they come out there, score 220, 230, 240, it's possible with them. Whereas with LSG, we've seen even when they don't lose a wicket, they didn't go past 2-5. So, that's a team that's in shackles. This is a team that's shackles have been loosened, and now that they've qualified. So I would, go along with RCB, at least for tomorrow, that they could surprise all of us, because they're all good teams. They've made it to the top. So not much to choose from. But at the moment, you've got to go with RCB, the way they've made it there and the kind of quality that they have in their side.
Never mind about superstition or anything else. Just looking at the last 11 they put out there on the park, any thoughts of any changes? The batting probably selects itself. It's absolutely cemented. Any tinkering needed in that bowling department, Shaun?
Siraj, was he injured or was he just left out?
Yeah, so Siraj, I think it was a toss-up between Siraj and Sid Kaul just based on fitness. So if Siraj is fully fit, no-brainer, comes back in.
Yeah, I just think he's a big match player. I think we've seen that from him in his short career so far for India, and even in the RPL. He almost rises to the occasion. So I wouldn't be surprised if you decide to go back to him with all his international experience now. I suppose the good thing about them, they've also got those spinning options, haven't they? I mean, it's the same surface as used today. I was watching that square. There's nothing prepared alongside. So with such a short turnaround, there's no ways they're going to cut something and have it prepared for tomorrow. So they will be on the same pitch. And it'll be interesting to see Hasaranga, for example, might be a handful. You've got Maxwell to bowl the overs, other spinning options there. So they might decide to use a bit more of that as well.
Yeah, I know in the previous game we built up Riddhiman Saha being the local boy, Ajay. But from a batting perspective, sometimes if it's not your day, you don't get that innings in. But a bowler like Shahbaz, also, who's a Bengal player, and he's done so well for Bangalore this season, he'll be an asset to offset Hasaranga.
Yeah, he's been an asset. I mean, and you're absolutely right. As a bowler, home conditions probably suit you better, because as a batsman, you could, nick one or get out or get run out. There are many things. But as a bowler, you know that conditions, what works there, what doesn't, and you have 24 balls to, keep coming back. So it definitely adds there. And and then Hasaranga, I'm even at the start, a lot of people look at GT and didn't think they could make it. Hasaranga is one of those players that I always felt, for an overseas player with so much flair, you don't even bowl in the game. The couple of games they've lost, he's bowled 2 overs or 1 over, but numbers are showing something different. He's had a fabulous run. He's got 24 wickets. So I think he'd probably be the key, because if your Shahbaz will do his job, as you said, but Hasaranga supporting him, will they bowl in tandem? It'll be interesting to see.
But for Lucknow, very different mindset. How easy is it, Sean, to put that beyond you? Because it's been a few days. They had a time when they almost had 1 foot in the top 2, not just in the top 4, in the top 2. And suddenly they find themselves, 3rd and 4th. So now we've got a longer route to the final.
Yeah, they would have been disappointed. I think at one stage they saw an easy route through. But I suppose what the management will be on about, listen, guys, at some stage, whether we had got through to the Eliminator or the other qualifier, you have to face possible elimination. And that's when you need to produce your best cricket. So they've got some guys in form. The 2 at the top of the order were brilliant in that one game. So what they're looking, I just think their batting hasn't fired enough for me. I've been impressed by a lot of their bowling options. Mohsin Khan has been the fan for me. I think he's just been brilliant. Vesh Khan's found his form. I prefer Ravi Bishnoi back in the side. I was impressed with Chameera. I was surprised that they left him out of the last game. I think he's been good, and obviously Kunal Pandya didn't play in that game as well. But when I look at that, I've seen Rahul and I've seen De Kock perform. The others have been a little bit hit and miss for me, and I don't think I've got enough from Stoinis and Holder with the bat in particular. So side-wise, I see some match winners there, but I still think RCB have probably got more match winners in their unit.